The first time I heard the word gay was in second grade, after a day of reciting Bible verses in Mrs. Hannah's class. I had regurgitated the Bible verses perfectly, and for that I received a certificate of achievement and reassurance from Mrs. Hannah that I had made God very proud that day. When I climbed into my family's Toyota Cressida after school, I knew something terrible had happened. My mother's face was ashen, and the car stereo was turned up loud enough for the other kids getting into other Cressidas to gawk at us. My first thought was that the world was ending. My older brother had recently told me about asteroids, the mortality of the sun, famine, the plague, nuclear war, and several other calamities that could wipe out humanity. Rock Hudson, I repeat, Rock Hudson, has died of AIDS at the age of 59. The radio announcer's voice blasted through the stereo. That was a new word too, AIDS. My mom's grip tightened on the steering wheel as she hissed, "This is the work of the devil. The devil made gay people, and AIDS is their punishment." "Mommy, what's gay?" I pleaded, trying desperately to connect the word's meaning to the annihilation of the planet. Gay means that two men love each other, and God forbids that. Something is very, very, very wrong with these men, and God is punishing them with a fatal disease. I knew when she said three varies, she meant business. I had just begun to understand that a person could be erased because their body had failed them. Now I had to reckon with the news that if you piss off God enough, he will kill you with AIDS. But if Christian school had taught me one thing, it was that God loved everybody, even the big-time sinners. God loved me, he loved my family, he loved my neighbors, and he loved everyone in my town just the same. Even though I was only 8, I knew God loved gay people too. And I knew they could be forgiven if they just tried hard enough to not be gay. As news of Rock Hudson's death blazed through our community, neighbors gathered in our driveway late into the night to talk about protecting the children from the gays. From my bedroom window, I heard hushed voices speculating about the older South African man who lived by himself across the street. "We need to tell the kids not to play in front of his house anymore. And what about that 4th grade math teacher, Mr. Moore? He's never been married either." Suddenly, every man without a wife and brood of children was suspected of being gay and accused of carrying a fatal disease that we could catch just by breathing the same air. The local newspaper, the Orange County Register, filled its pages with news of the gay death disease and filled my life with terror. I became afraid of my teachers and gymnastics coaches who didn't have wives and children. I imagined AIDS infecting the pencil sharpener in the classroom and lurking on the surface of the balance beam at the gym. My mom stopped taking us to Laguna Beach, our beloved childhood playground, because gay men lived there. Life felt scary for the first time ever, and the more frightened I became, the harder I prayed. Every night before bed, every morning when I woke up, and every day during prayer time at school, I clasped my hands in front of my heart, squeezed my eyes shut, and prayed with all my might for men to stop loving other men, for the devil to release them from his grip, and for God to forgive them for their sins.